Mr. Wiesner?
Yes.
Hello, hi, it's Maya from the mdlove show. How are you?
Fine. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for being
Good.
here. So,
You're welcome.
okay. So, how are you these days?
I'm doing fine.
Yes.
It's a special time, but
Yes.
everything is okay so far.
Good. I'm glad to hear. So, you are here to share stories about the man you knew and we all love and miss, Michael Jackson. And let's start at the beginning, if that's okay with you.
Yes, it's fine.
Yeah. Can you tell us about the very first time you met Michael and how you became his manager?
It's a long story. The beginning, we started with an energy drink, maybe you know, and somebody came from Austria and very known company, and did ask me that we can do something together, but I had nothing to do with energy drinks. I was in the business with merchandising, and but he came again and again and asked me to work with him. Well, it was Red Bull, the company, and I told him for fun, if I would do something like this, then I would go with the Pope or Michael Jackson or something like this. There was a joke from my side. But the guy came 3 months later with a full designed can with the name of mystery drink. And it was so exciting what he did that I did send it to the States.
Okay.
And 6 months later, I got an invitation coming to the States, to California, San Francisco. And I was thinking this is like a candid camera, but it was real. And we went there, and I presented this drink. And so Michael Jackson was, he knew it already. I didn't know that he knew it already. And then we went to his place in LA. And I presented this drink to him, and he was so excited. We were sitting outside, and they told us how to say hi to him and all these things. In the meantime, when we were staying there talking, he came in the door, and you can't believe it, because this is this super mega star in that time, and now he's staying in front of you. So, but he was so relaxed and was sitting down and
Were you
going back and
relaxed?
forth in his chair.
Were you nervous when you first met him, or were you cool?
Say it again?
Were you nervous when you met him, or?
I was very nervous, because you see the first time this megastar, you just know him from the TV and all these things, and you are biggest, and we should present them. I was very, very nervous, and I was completely overdressed. I had a suit on and all these things, and it was hot over there, and he came in with a shirt and jeans. Yeah. Very, very nice, very humble, was sitting down. So I showed him everything. And he agreed, he did want to do it, and it was a very nice story. He did want to open the can and want to drink something, and the people around him freaked out and thought, don't drink, and so like we could kill him. Our best customer. And so we went out from the States back to Germany, and we prepared everything, and we had everything in place, and we spent a lot of money. And when Michael came to Germany and the first show should start, we went with all our stuff in this stadium. But we couldn't come in. So Sony told us, no, we don't know anything, and we don't let you in, and so. It was a disaster for us, And I went back to the hotel, and my contract was that I can't talk to the artist. There's no way to talk to, only to Sony. Okay. So, but I knew this bodyguard from him when I was in the States, and we met together, and it was a very nice time over there. And I told him, you know what, I need to talk to Mr. Jackson. I need to talk to him. Yes. And he told me, okay, wait until everybody's out of the hotel, and then you come. And he brought me up to Michael. And it's a funny feeling when you go in to a mega star like this and you tell him, you know what, your people screwed us. You know, so it was a very difficult situation.
Yes, I'm
so,
sure.
But I was waiting, and then he came. I heard talking on the phone, and then he came, and we were sitting together on a couch, and we talked 3 hours.
Wow.
And in this meeting, by the end of the meeting, he told me he knows exactly what's going on behind the scene, and I should come with him on tour. So I had a company running in Germany and all these things. So now I should go with him on this big world tour. And I told him, you know what, I need 5 minutes. And I went out and I called my people at home and was saying, what shall we do? And then we decided, okay, I go with him on tour. This was the beginning, coming close to Michael Jackson.
Wow. Okay. So we know that Michael is a perfectionist. So what was it like working with him? Because, you know, perfectionists, they're almost never satisfied. So what was it like for you to work with him?
It took close to a year until I came so close to him. He was a very shy and a very careful person.
Of course.
And as you say, he was a perfectionist on stage. I made 80 concerts around the world with him.
Wow.
And everything has to be 100%. And I saw this super mega star on stage. It was amazing. We had 80 dancers and all these things. So, and he really, every day before the show, he went in the stadium, he went over all the songs and all these things again, and then he went back. And in the beginning of any single show, he was super nervous. And then on stage, he was just beautiful, just an expert and just perfect.
Yeah, he said he feels most comfortable on stage. He always said that.
Say it again?
He said that he always felt most comfortable on stage, and you could see that.
Yes. On stage, he was just, it was amazing. He was just a perfectionist. When we came back to the Neverland Ranch after the history tour, I saw a completely different person. Very shy, very quiet, very humble, completely different person like he was on stage. Very interesting for me.
Okay. So we also know about Michael that he was a prankster. He loved pranking people. So were you one of his victims? Did he ever prank you?
He liked to do it. What he did was, when I came to the ranch and had people with me, he went with me in the backyard.
Yes.
And he walked with me and we talked. And then all these sprinklers, the water sprinklers, came out of the grass and sprinkled the whole area. And we went middle in the thing and we went nuts. And he was running away and laughing like crazy. There was something he could not get enough from things like this.
Yes, I'm sure.
But very lovely and very, very kind.
Yeah. Did you ever help him prank someone else?
Oh, we did. We played with water balloons and things like this. Yeah,
oh, really?
we did things like this.
Oh. So you could be a child around him.
Not like him, but you could really be a child.
Yeah, wonderful. So I have a hard question for you right now. It's almost impossible to answer, but what is your favorite MJ song? And you can only choose one.
It's very hard,
I know.
But then I would say A Stranger in Moscow, because he did like this song so much. Of course, I loved all his songs because when I was on tour, and still when I hear a song from Michael, I see the show, because I was in 80 shows, and any single song like The Girl Is Mine or whatsoever was a show.
Yes.
And that's why I see all these things. But Stranger in Moscow, he really loved this song, and I also would say Stranger in Moscow.
Yeah. I was always curious. I know that Michael had two sides. He was shy and quiet, or sometimes he was confident and bossy. And of course, I know those two sides because they were on camera. But what was he like off camera? Was he more of the shy guy or more confident?
As soon as the camera was out, he was a very shy, very humble human being. In all these years I was with him and I was living on the ranch, I never heard him scream and shout out something. He was still, even there was something he didn't like, he was quiet. He told you this quiet and a very humble person.
Yeah, I'm sure. So, as you said, you knew him for many years. You knew him before the biggest storm of his life, which was the trial, and you were there after. Obviously, he was different after that experience. But from what you remember, what was the one thing that never changed in his personality, no matter what he went through?
He never, let's say, started to hate other people. He was a broken man. He was, when the trial started, even this Bashir interview killed him already. It was just terrible. He was so, children was his life, and he knew children are the future, and he would never harm a child. Never, ever in his life. And when people started to do things like this against him, that broke him. But other people would say, I hate these people. Never, ever he did this. Never. He just could not understand that people are able to do something like this. But he never hated people. And sometimes I couldn't understand people. He was so, he was
forgiving,
sometimes too good.
Yeah. Okay, so my last question for you, Mr. Wiesner. What do you want people to know about him? What is the most important thing to learn about Michael Jackson?
I think the most people, and I create a new book. You can download it on Apple. I don't know if you know this. And I did it because the mom told me to show the world the different sides of Michael. Michael was the biggest artist in the world, we really can say this. And I don't see anyone who would come close to him now. And on the other side, and the people don't know this, the world don't know this, is he was such an unbelievable businessman. And we talked about right before, he could be a child, he could jump around, he could laugh, and the next minute we were sitting down and talked about business. And his plan was, after the history tour, doing buying Marvel. I had the money together for buying Marvel catalog, with Spider-Man and all these things. He started already 99, 2000 that we created this, and that he wants to buy this catalog. He would be the richest man in the world right now. He would have this Beatle catalog and this movie catalog. So, and what he did also his whole life, he painted. I have 120 paintings together, and we're working on a big exhibition in Europe or Qatar, or I'm not sure exactly where we're starting, maybe in Russia, with 120 paintings the world have never seen. So he had so many different phases as a real artist.
Yes.
And it was not only music, and he was the biggest star in the world, but when you see his paintings and when you see his plans with music, he was also an unbelievable creative man and an unbelievable businessman. And this is what the people don't know.
Yeah. Well, is the reason he wanted to buy Marvel, I heard one of the reasons, is because he wanted to play Spider-Man. Is that true?
No, he did not want to play Spider-Man.
No.
But he knew that Marvel was on the floor. Marvel was around. We could buy it maybe for $1 billion, something like this. And when you see what happened today, there's by 8 billion or 9 billion. So he knew exactly that could be something very special. And of course, he loved movies. He loved his characters. He loved animated video. He was falling in love with it. So he worked before on Pinocchio. I brought him a company from Canada, and he worked already on Pinocchio. So there was something he did want to do his whole life, but he had a big career and he couldn't. So that's why he did want to do it on the second part of his life.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much, Mr. Wiesner, for being here.
You're very welcome.
So what can I wish you before you leave? What is your wish for life?
You know what? My wish is that all these pandemic things going away and that we have a safe, good life without any war, without any problems. That would be my wish.
Amen.
For everybody.
Okay, thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend.
You're very welcome.
And stay safe.